this is me. I'm promoting myself, but behind me is my brand, right? And that's the way people need to be using social, is promoting their personal brand. So on LinkedIn, if you have a LinkedIn business page, that's cool, but you should be promoting yourself on your personal LinkedIn, relevant articles, positioning yourself as a thought leader, because people like to work with people, not logos.
And that was a mic drop moment. I wish I had a mic that I could drop that I didn't need.
Oh, that's good. Here's my book, by the way, Drop the Mic Marketing. You got to check that out, Bo. Yeah, there you go. You dropped the mic on me.
No, listen, guys. Everybody that's watching and listening, that was not planned, okay?
No. I love it.
Drop the mic moment. Oh, my God. We're so aligned.
Hey man, your dog is super trained but mine never listens to me.
That's because I just signed up for a dog training course in the community app. It notifies you of all classes happening within a 10-mile radius and has many options. They've got literally everything from dog training classes to dance classes.
No way. You mean I can get my dog trained and learn dancing?
Yeah. Install the app right now and see for yourself.
Alula Life Greens actually started for me when I was 23 years old. I went out and bought a $400 industrial juicer and I started juicing every single week. And I hated it. It took so much time, it cost money, and it was a process. That's when I started making the Life Greens product. It truly is the one drink that you should take every day for the rest of your life.
My name is Amy and I absolutely love fitness. I'm a licensed cosmetologist and a professional makeup artist. Eating healthy is not the easiest thing. We get so busy in our lives, it's really hard to take the time to eat healthy and to eat right. My absolute favorite thing about this product is that they combine reds, greens, and probiotics in one mix. You put it in your water and you shake it up and voila, it's so easy and it tastes amazing. You'll feel a difference. Then you start believing that you really can change and that you can actually feel better.
Hello, everybody. I am so excited to be with you on today with our special featured guest. His name is Jason Hunt, and he has been immersed in the world of digital marketing ever since 2007, people. And he has figured out a way to leverage social media to cultivate a fan base for his Japanese rock band. His expertise in monetizing, which we definitely want to know about, online traffic has since led him to become a co-founder of Merge Media Canada. So without further ado, let's bring on Jason Hunt. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Tina. Thanks for having me. Love that introduction. I am pumped for this conversation.
Oh, I'm more pumped than you, because when I read what you do, I'm like, oh my God, my audience need to know this information. And you're the expert and I am the spectator.
Let's go.
So let's go ahead and jump right in. So the fact that you started like from a Japanese rock star to an agency owner, now how did you transition from that to this?
Yeah, that's quite the leap, right? So, well, it's funny. Back in 2007, I was the front man of a rap rock funk band in Japan. And so we would perform at tons of venues, did a little bit of a tour of Japan. And I was a front man, like I said, but my singing ability was not there. It was like mediocre at best. But I realized through that experience, I actually like marketing the music more than performing and creating the music. So for me, that was kind of my epiphany. It's like, whoa, this marketing thing, I'm actually pretty good at. So let's go all in on that.
Oh, so it was pretty much your lack thereof of being a rock star, but it actually helped you just fall into what you really want to do, which was marketing. So can you give us a little bit more about what inspired you to kind of make that full transition into the marketing world?
Yeah, definitely. So at the time, I was spending a lot of time on MySpace to promote the band at the time. Basically any outlet I could to try to get a new pair of ears to listen to my music. Mm-hmm. And that whole aspect of it was what I really loved about pushing the pushing the band. It was exposing ourselves to a new listener, a new person, a new audience. And that transcends very easily over to brands. So it's essentially what they're trying to do. Our band was a brand. And now today it's like, hey, entrepreneurs are all brands themselves, but a lot of them don't have that skill set or that passion to market the brand. And that's where somebody like me comes in and kind of is that missing piece to the puzzle. So fast forward to 2016, I started a social media agency called Fresh Crowd. I merged that company with an SEO company in 2019 to form Merged Media. So now we kind of act as that one-stop shop for our clients, where we have the technical side of digital and the creative side of digital all under one roof in Guelph, Ontario, Canada.
Oh, I love it. I love it, because you're right. As business owners, I don't think we really connect the two if we're not having an eye for the marketing aspect of it. We don't look at ourselves as a brand until we start scaling up. But you're a brand once you say, I'm a business. And so the fact that you figured that out and now you're using that in order to leverage, because let's face it, all of us need more visibility. You can never have too much visibility. So that's how you pretty much got your business off the ground. So let's talk a little bit about social media, because that can be a little soft spot dealing with business owners. So should all businesses, let's just go ahead and ask this elephant in the room, should all businesses be on Facebook and Instagram to increase their sales online?
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of back and forth about this one, and there's a lot of critics out there in terms of where you should be deploying your energy and efforts. And some people say put all of your effort into one platform. I think no, I think you should put your effort into as many platforms as possible. And if you can't handle it yourself, then find somebody that can help you with that, because the audience on Facebook and Instagram is a different audience than the people on TikTok, different audience than the people on LinkedIn, different audience than the people on Pinterest. So, you know, you need to try to be getting out in front of as many audiences as possible and creating content on a consistent basis. 100% is still relevant today, but what has changed is the type of creative that you're putting out there. Right. And you don't want to use social media as a tool to sell necessarily. You want to use social media as a way to plant seeds and start to potentially grow relationships. You need your audience to know that you're there when that pain point comes up, when they need you. Right. And I think that's the key here, is that people use social media to sell, but the user on social media has no intent. What that means is they're not looking to buy things necessarily. They're looking to have an entertaining experience on social media. So knowing that, you need to know what kind of content you need to drip on them to be a part of the conversation in their head.
I love that. I never heard it explained like that, because normally we think of it in the opposite way. Use social media to sell. Social media, sell. But you're saying using it as a way of kind of like helping them to get to know you better, to drip out content. So when they need you, because all of us going to have emotional pressure points, you know, and so when that happens, letting them know, because they already built the relationship with you, that you can provide that that resource or that service. And most importantly, the way that you just explained it, it helps you build up that trust. Because before someone buys something from you, they have to at least trust you.
Yeah, 100%. And in addition to that, Tina, it's like a lot of people like to push their actual brand or their logo, but you know, people like to work with people. So especially for solopreneurs, entrepreneurs out there, small businesses, they need to have a face to the business. You can't just be putting your brand name out there and pushing the crap out of that and putting it watermarking on images, on stock images and things like that. No, you want to develop a personal brand that's aligned with your business brand. And that, like what we're doing right now, going on a podcast, like the Tina Ramsay Show, like this is me, I'm promoting myself, but behind me is my brand. Right. And that's the way people need to be using social, is promoting their personal brand. So on LinkedIn, if you have a LinkedIn business page, that's cool. But you should be promoting yourself on your personal LinkedIn, relevant articles, positioning yourself as a thought leader, because people like to work with people, not logos.
Now that was a mic drop moment. I wish I had a mic that I could drop that I didn't need.
Oh, that's good. Here's my book, by the way, Drop the Mic Marketing. You got to check that out. Yeah, there you go. You dropped the mic on me.
Now listen, guys. Everybody that's watching and listening, that was not planned. Okay.
No.
I just
love it.
Drop the mic, mom. Oh my God, we are so aligned. Okay. Okay, now let me get myself together, because I wasn't expecting that. But Like really, because most of the time we're pushing our logos and everything else, and as solo entrepreneurs, we kind of fall in the gaps because you're trying to mimic a Fortune 500 company that has thousands of employees and team and marketing, and you know, solo. And so the fact that you're saying to lead with yourself, not excluding having a business page with your logo, but most importantly, making sure that they connect with you, the person, which will indeed lead them eventually to your brand. Your, so that's helpful.
Yeah. So check it out. So I was actually speaking at AdWorld, and there's a part of my conversation at AdWorld, or part of my presentation, where I give this example. And, you know, back in the 1950s, you know, Joe DiMaggio was a Hall of Famer for the New York Yankees, 56 game hitting streak, very known, likable person, married Marilyn Monroe. And then fast forward to the 1970s, and he gets picked up by Mr. Coffee as their brand ambassador. And obviously the drip coffee maker sold like 1 million units in their first year, thanks to Joe DiMaggio, that known, like, and trusted person. But now in 2023, we don't need a Joe DiMaggio to represent your brand. Social media helps you escalate that much quicker. Anybody can be that Joe DiMaggio in face of the brand with social media. So that's the big thing here, and that's how anybody can be that person. They just need to go out and do it.
Yes, and when you think about that, most of the time, if we go back just maybe 20 years ago, you usually need some kind of major influencer or celebrity to kind of lead your brand if you really want to take it up or 10x your brand. But now, with the way that the system is with social media, you can do that for yourself. It may take you a little bit longer to do certain things, but the fact of the matter is we can be the navigator of our own business, which is powerful if we utilize it in the right way. So I'm so happy that you're explaining how everyday people that have small businesses can really excel in this social media market, because, you know, as small business owners, we sometimes are afraid.
Well, you know what? It's afraid, but also it's lack of patience, right? Because, you know, we talk about these ideas and these theories now, and then, you know, some of your audience might go ahead and deploy what we're talking about here and maybe start an Instagram account or be more active on their Instagram or TikTok accounts and not see the traction that they expect. That's expected. You're not going to get traction overnight. You can't be trying to get that one viral video and then, you know, everything's gravy. You know, it's not how it works. It requires consistency and not so much fixation on the audience size, but more fixation on the quality of the audience, right? I'd rather have 200 engaged followers than 20,000 non-engaged followers, right? So that's the key here, is getting that level of engagement out of that audience and being consistent and present there, because that's what that audience of 200, 2,000, 20,000 is going to expect. And and like I said, like we talk about this, there's other ways and hacks you can expedite that growth. You know, paid advertising can help a lot to get that additional eyeballs on your content. That's one way that we do it, is every single podcast episode that I do. I have my own podcast, and every episode is going out there on social media, and we're targeting an audience with some ad spend to get more listens on the podcast. It's just things like that to be able to leverage to help expedite that growth process.
I really appreciate that, because for the fact that as small business owner, people in general that are content creators that may not even be a podcaster like you and I, but they want to get that one viral video and not thinking about just being consistent and showing up. I never forget an interview that I saw on television, in which the guy said, they asked him, how did he become who he is today? And he said, well, I used to consistently do content for like 5, 6, 7 years. And then a video that he did 4 years ago, it just hit viral this year. It went viral. People think that video, he did it yesterday, but no, he said, I did that 4 years ago and forgot about it. And it picked up during the pandemic. So don't underestimate the power of creating consistent content, because you never know where it's going to land. But if you don't have anything out, no one has anything to work with.
The hardest part, Tina, and you could probably attest to this too, is no matter what you do, it's the level of consistency in doing it, which is a challenge. Like, I started my podcast in February 2020, never missed a week. We just recorded 176 episode. And that's just because, I mean, I say no to inconsistency. It's like every week I'm going to show up and I'm going to be there. So another great example of this is with my social media right now. I said to myself 89 days ago that I'm going to create a piece of content specific to my audience every single day about digital marketing for 100 days. And I have not missed a day because I don't want to let myself down or my audience down. And it's just sometimes you need to put those parameters in place to hold yourself accountable and stay disciplined.
I agree with you on that accountability, that transparency, and just showing up even when you don't feel like it, because every day is not the same. That's why I tell people, you think every day we feel chipper and like, yes, I'm going to do my podcast, I'm going to show up on social media. No, we do it because the consistency and also just keeping that routine is very, very important. So thinking about when we're talking about social media, is there any trends that we should look to or try to implement in 2023?
Yeah, I think the rock that everybody's uncovered this year is ChatGPT, right? And how great of a tool that can be. Now, this tool, a lot of people are fearing that this tool is going to replace copywriters. Well, I don't necessarily believe it's going to just replace copywriters per se, but it can be almost an extension of the brain, right? It gives us a superpower, right? To be able to get things done a lot more productively and a lot more quickly. So in terms of social media, it's using, ChatGPT to come up with ideas or content themes and things like that, and using it as a reference point to go there and do the human content that you need to do. Because you can copy things verbatim from ChatGPT. I mean, I got it right up here on my other screen. It's like I can copy and paste this stuff, but you need to add that human element to it to make it unique, to make it yours. Great guide, but you can't solely rely on it.
With that being said, can ChatGPT help with a person who need help with SEOs or just developing ideas and concepts? Yes. I know you said it, but how about SEOs? Because that's like a buzzword now that everybody's saying you got to do SEO.
Yeah. So we're an SEO company, right? As well as a social media agency. So for us, we use it for coming up with site maps for new websites, for coming up with, for example, a blog post. We can use ChatGPT. Our copywriters can use ChatGPT to come up with an outline for a blog post that's SEO optimized. But then they go in there and add certain tweaks in it to make it relevant to the business and make it unique. Because one thing you need to be cognizant of is duplicate content. Meaning if somebody has the exact same piece of content out there on your blog and Google catches it, that could penalize you, or at least get you less traffic to your site from Google if Google catches duplicate content on your website. So people need to be aware of that. How many people are looking at things online like digital marketing trends and copying the top 5 digital marketing trends and posting it on their blog, and how many agencies have done that? And how many unique variations of that can ChatGPT do?
Oh, wow. So when you think about that, so ChatGPT is a great tool to use as a reference, as a guide, but we still need to add the human element to it of whatever makes it unique to you, your brand, and what you actually do. So I never even really thought about that, excuse me, on how it can actually help with SEO and how it can actually help with the mapping of that for those of you who have problems with social media. So when I think about ChatGPT, I'm thinking about social media. I'm thinking about how you actually started as a Japanese rock star, like all of this. But when I think about it in the preference of your foundation has always been advertisement and social media, even down to your MySpace days. So when you think about your life, Jason Hunt, how do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? What do you want to do? Do you want to just keep doing what you're doing, or you just don't know? You're just going to keep working this social media because it's ever evolving.
That's a great question. And that question was going a few different directions there. And, you got to think about, your past, your present and future, right? So if I look at my past, like high school, I had a group of friends, and we gave our group of friends a name, and we created a website. This was 96. I'm dating myself now, but we created a website for our friends in 1996 with like a guest book and all this sort of stuff. And at the time it was pretty innovative. Like this is before Facebook, we had profiles for each of my friends online, Angel Fire, using that platform as our website. So I look at that, and then you go to, Japan, marketing a rap rock band, and then starting an agency. And there's a trend there, right? It's advertising, promotion. There's that lining that's continuous throughout my journey. So in the next 5 years, I don't see that going anywhere. I know what I'm good at, and I know what I like, and I know what I'm passionate about. A lot of shiny things pass by from time to time again, but it's a matter of just staying disciplined on that path. So obviously continuous growth is key, making investments into certain companies where my goals and aspirations align and going that direction. But I think one of the big things is just continuous growth.
I love it. I love it. And so when I think about all the different things, and that's why I love having conversations like this, when you see how a person started and where they are at now and then where they're going to become. It's really remarkable. That's why I love having these type of conversations. So as a business owner, let me see how I want to preface this question. As a business owner, what would you say would be the one tip for those that's not really utilizing social media now? What would you tell them where they need to focus at for right now so they won't get overwhelmed?
Yeah, I think the big key is focusing on the one thing that you're really good at and letting the experts take care of the rest. Great book called The One Thing that touches on this point. One of my favorite books. And it really aligns well with what we do. I'm a marketing guy. I'm a brand ambassador for my business. I'm not a coder. I can't build a website. I can. It's not going to be very good though. And that's, and a lot of our clients, that's what they appreciate about an agency like us, is we tell them, you focus on driving the needle forward in your business. And that one hat that you really don't want to wear, which is the marketing hat, is taken care of by a team of people in our office. And that's the big benefit, is knowing what you're good at and not spreading yourself too thin. Because I've been doing this for years and spoke with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of businesses, and the ones that flop are always those ones that have that one entrepreneur person or one co-founder that needs to do everything and micromanage everything. And people need to learn just to let go and focus on what you're good at to drive that business forward.
I agree with you 1000%. I had to learn that the hard way. So now I'll be like, come on, let me delegate. Here, you can take this, you can take this, you can take that. So that is really, really great. And when you think about, should businesses actually who are not currently using Google advertisement, should that be something that they add on to their marketing plan?
Marketing mix. Yeah. So Google Ads as a part of the marketing mix is important, because it also depends on the business as well. But in most cases, what Google's going to do is capture that high intent audience. These people are going to be closer to the bottom of funnel because they know the pain point they have. They're aware of the pain point they have, and they're looking for that solution. So that is where you use Google. Now, it's important, once somebody lands on your website from a Google search, that you put a Facebook pixel on your page, on your website, to ensure that you can retarget them with a Facebook or Instagram ad. Because if they're Googling your business, there's a very good chance they're shopping around and looking at your competitors. So how can you remain top of mind? It's ensuring pixels, whether it's a TikTok pixel, LinkedIn pixel, Facebook pixel, are on your site so you can retarget them when they're back over to browsing around. And then maybe they haven't made a decision yet on who they want to go with for a business.
All right. For those of our audience that may not understand what a pixel is, can you give this?
So a pixel is a little piece of code that goes into the back end of the website that allows platforms like Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn to be able to see when a certain user hits your website, and allows them the opportunity, or you the opportunity, to present them with an ad after they visit your website.
Awesome. So it's like your little marketing team working for you, automation.
100%. Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is like evergreen, right? You create that retargeting ad, then you can just kind of set it and forget it. And you'll know every time somebody hits your website, for the next week or however long you want to retarget them, they're going to continuously see your ad to get them back over to your website to make that purchase.
Oh my goodness, that's ingenious. Okay, so business owners, that's something that is, if that's not another drop the mic moment, and so you're gonna have to keep reposting certain stuff over and over. Make sure to go pick up his book, Drop the Mic. Where can we find it?
Just Google Drop the Mic Marketing, and you're gonna find it on Amazon. It's a quick read, 72 pages, but basically tells you how to be the rock star of your industry. So go and check that out.
I love it. Had no idea, at that point. But also tell us a little bit about your business, what services that you provide, and how our audience can get in contact with you.
Yeah, definitely. If you're looking for a one-stop shop to take care of everything from your SEO to Google advertising to social media marketing, we're that team. Essentially an extension of your business so you can go and focus on the things that really matter in your business to push it forward. My email is jason@merged, merged.ca. You can go and check out our website, merged.ca, or you can go to jayhunt.social. That's my website, jhunt.social, and check out my podcast, the Merged Marketing Podcast.
Listen, thank you so much, Jason, for stopping by all the way from the beautiful, snowy Canada.
Awesome.
So thank you so much for sharing with us as business owners what we can do, what we can look forward to, also what trends we should be looking at and what we should be doing in the now in order to make our business more marketable and more successful for 2023 and beyond. Because what you gave us is not only going to help us now, but it's going to help us in the future too, because with this technology ever evolving, we're going to need you in your business and what you guys doing, because that's not our thing.
That's awesome. Tina, thank you so much for this opportunity. This was an awesome chat.
Oh, you're most welcome. So thank you.
So at this time, we are welcoming author, podcast, businesswoman, coach, podcast influencer, Coach Tina Ramsay.
What up, family? CTR Media Network. Yeah. Best in the biz. Yeah. Join the team. CTR is who we are. The media network, that's the best by far. Whether you listen at your home, at your job, in your car, come get the information that's needed above par. Never lasting, motivational podcasting, giving you the answers to the questions that you're asking. Serious talks and topics, how to come up and profit, how to better yourself. Your health is here, we got it. Reaching 350 million, they tuning in. We in 50 different countries, we all can. And like-minded, find your purpose and your assignment. Come get your fix, your feel, your mental alignment. Get active and speak to the masses. Build your influence all levels and all classes. Now you know you can monetize and grow. CTR Media Network, start the show. CTR Media Network. CTR Media Network. CTR Media Network. CTR Media Network. CTR is who we are. The media network, that's the best by far, you know. CTR Media Network. CTR Media Network. Your health is here, we got it. Reaching 350 million, they tuning in. We in 50 different countries, we all can. And like-minded, find your purpose and your assignment. Come get your fix, your feel, your mental alignment. Get active and speak to the masses. Build your influence all levels and all classes. Now you know you can monetize and grow. CTR Media Network, start the show. CTR Media Network. CTR Media Network. CTR Media Network. CTR Media Network. CTR is who we are. The media network, that's the best by far, you know. CTR Media Network. CTR Media Network.